a bigger issue that occurred exactly on the day of the eclipse, the FTX collapse. The FTX collapse is a stunning downfall of the crypto market based on the collapse of the exchange. FTX was the second largest exchange in the world. It's a black swan event. It's a cautionary tale for what you will see in sectors, unfortunately, and many will feel the pain. So for those in the crypto group, we covered this. I just want to do a surface level presentation to the GTA members who are not into crypto, who are not ready for crypto, or who don't trust crypto, who are not informed on crypto. The people who don't trust crypto don't understand crypto. Okay, but we'll go into that in depth another time. So I just want you to know that this event now, the FTX token, I was looking for an event. Well, okay, Wall Street's going up. Everything is great. The fundamentals on the markets are breaking down. The fundamentals with the bond markets are breaking down. The fundamentals everywhere is breaking down. And nothing broke yet. The credit markets haven't completely broke. They're almost there. So the eclipse occurred. And what happened was this: FTX FTT token collapses by 72% as clients swamp in the exchange with withdrawal requests. So all of these people worldwide were pulling all their money off this exchange, right? So there was a significant liquidity crunch. So I was looking for a liquidity crunch, and I said, whatever occurs, wherever it occurs, whether it's in the crypto, whether it's in the credit markets, whether it's in the derivative markets or the stock market, we always look for the stock market. Trust me, folks, the stock market is nowhere close in size to the bond market, to the credit markets, to the currency markets. All right. So don't get caught up with the stock market. It is like the last thing to go. So, or the housing market is much bigger than the stock market. So I was looking for something, and bang, it happened on November 8th on schedule perfectly. We look at the FTX token. Look at that eclipse. That eclipse hit it perfectly. And I said, that is the beginning of the massive meltdown of contagion that is going to spread everywhere. People right now, the Wall Street Journal saying, oh, don't worry about it. FTX, not a big deal. Yes, it's a lot of money. Yeah, it's bigger than Enron, but it will not affect the markets. The Wall Street Journal has the worst track record. The only people that read the Wall Street Journal are the financial astrologers, right? So that is something you need to take note of. So the Sam Bankman-Fried FTX Ponzi scheme, right? So this is what happened. Basically, you had this guy. He starts an exchange. He gets all these people, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock. He gets the biggest people in the industry on Wall Street. He has massive investors from Hollywood. He all convinces them, without having any real experience running an exchange, to invest in his FTT token. So basically, what's an FTT token, right? It's a token that is created on a blockchain, and it supposedly represents the value. It represents the value of all the different cryptos that are being traded on the exchange. So it is an index, or an ETF, if you will, equivalent, right, of the exchange. And it's the second largest exchange in the world, right? And they have this investment arm, which we'll go into in a minute. So they create all these tokens. Then Alameda, which is FTX's hedge fund, it's a separate company, but it's the sibling hedge fund version of FTX, buys the FTT tokens at a super low price, super low price, like pennies, right? Then FTX artificially pumps the FTT token on its exchange. When it pumps it up, Alameda then posts FTT back to FTX as collateral, borrowing real assets from FTX's customer deposits. So basically, this is how it worked. Once this FTT token was used as collateral, and what Alameda did was say this: hey, we're going to take these tokens. We're going to take this Bitcoin. We're going to take this Ethereum. We're going to take all these different coins. The main coin was Solana. And we're going to bet big. We're going to bet with massive leverage on the markets. We're going to use massive leverage with these coins, the real coins. And we're going to make a lot of money for our private clients who are going to pay us fees. And so they did that. And what they did is they said, okay, give us $1 million and we'll give you as collateral FTT tokens, right? We'll put in escrow $1 million worth of FTT tokens as escrow. If you give us $1 million, so then we can bet big and give you a 50% return on your money. And so people were doing this, but here's the catch. What they were doing was they were taking customers' money on the FTT token. If you bought Bitcoin, if you were holding your Bitcoin on the exchange, if you were getting like 5%, 6%, 7% return on Ethereum by staking on an FTX exchange, right? So people were doing that, but they were taking that money and using it for massive bets for their private clients in Alameda. And guess what? Sam Bankman-Fried's girlfriend was the CEO calling all the different bets. She never traded anything in her life. She's actually in bigger trouble than him. Now, just bear with me. For those who go, William, I'm not into crypto. Let's just get on with it. I don't see how this affects me. I'm going to show you how it's going to affect you. Now, listen, you're going to see this is going straight to the Biden White House. You will see in a minute that this is bigger than Watergate. Bigger than Watergate? That can't be. Oh, yeah, it is. And the fact that it occurred on Eclipse, as an astrologer who's been doing this 30 years plus, I know the chickens are going to come home to roost in 2023. So we saw this massive drop, right? And it started a contagion on the day of the eclipse. BlockFi prepares for potential bankruptcy as crypto contagion spreads, right? There's Sam Bankman-Fried. We're going to go into him. We're seeing this meltdown accelerating and intensifying. Genesis suspends withdrawals from crypto lending business, right? So the radioactive fallout from Sam Bankman-Fried's massive farce continues to escalate and intensify as crypto brokerage firms that are backed by actual Wall Street firms are forced to suspend, right, from their lending business. And we're talking about big companies here. The actual value, I mean, you're talking about JP Morgan saying the FTX collapse fallout could cut the value of cryptocurrencies in half before it's over. One of the things I stated was if Celsius, remember when Celsius fell, when Terra Luna went down? If Celsius was the canary in the coal mine, then FTX is the coal mine, and it has completely collapsed, bankrupting over 130 affiliate companies worldwide. Somehow you can still trade Bitcoin for almost 17,000. That's an extraordinary amount of resiliency given what happened this week. So how does this all tie together with the eclipse and with what's happened? Let me tell you, FTX is going bankrupt, but wait, there is more. And what is that? Wait, there is more. It's all connected to Sam Bankman-Fried, right? Connected with he was the second largest donor to the midterm elections after George Soros, right? So you could see here how the money was funneled from FTX, right? From the regular taxpayer going into, there was a chain that went right into FTX, went right to the Democratic Party that actually went to actual campaigns. And here's the gist. The gist is it was fraudulent money. They were operating a criminal enterprise the entire time. And that money went straight to the Democratic national machine and was actually given its blessing, right, by a top Biden advisor, Steve Ricchetti, on April 22nd to May 12th, according to White House visitor logs. All right. So Bankman-Fried met with these people. He gave Democrats nearly $37 million of fraud money based on what he was doing, running a criminal enterprise, right, between 2021 and 2022 election cycle. Sam Bankman-Fried said he expected to donate north of $100 million to Democrats in the 2024 presidential election, but vowed to have a soft ceiling of political spending up to $1 billion that he would give to the Democratic nominee if Donald Trump ran again. And FTX converted 1 million worth of its Solana and transferred it to the National Bank of Ukraine, right? That money in Ukraine actually went back into democratic coffers. And the World Economic Forum lists FTX as a partner and provides a link to the exchange's website. Not only that, FTX made waves with early endorsements by NFL legend Tom Brady, supermodel Gisele Bündchen, and the NBA superstar Stephen Curry, right? So FTX bet big money on the Super Bowl commercial featuring Seinfeld creator Larry David, right? So we're talking a lot of people in Hollywood, a lot of people who all brought in, right, into this Trojan horse. And the WEF, the World Economic Council, lists FTX as a corporate partner and participant, which means the company must meet the globalist organization standards for stakeholder capitalism. I'm going to explain what that is in a minute. For those of you in the crypto group, just bear with me. I'm just doing a light touch. We did a very heavy deep dive last time, but for GTA members, I just want them to understand how this is going to blow back on their bank account, how this is going to blow back on their savings, how it's going to blow back on their portfolios, which are already down substantially. So FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried heavily relied on investment firms like BlackRock. FTX regularly announced its devotion to climate and social justice projects, and it had to conform and meet the globalist organization standards for stakeholder capitalism. Now, what is stakeholder capitalism? So I'm not going to go too deep into it here, but essentially it's a socialist economic model which deconstructs the Adam Smith and Milton Friedman free market foundation. And it argues that only responsibility of business should be the growth and profit, according to Friedman, within boundaries of the law, with the shareholders in mind. The World Economic Forum insists that the Friedman philosophy must be abandoned and that the job of wealthy elites and corporations is to use profits as a tool for managing society, the so-called stakeholders. Now, a key component of stakeholder capitalism is the need for a digital currency framework, a global, one world, one market exchange digital currency framework. That's right. And this explains the World Economic Forum's interest as an FTX partner. So you can see now the connection between the Democratic Party, between the Biden administration, between the DNC operatives, between the non-state actors, between what's happened in the midterm elections, right? And this stakeholder capitalism model, which is this policy that's being pushed down onto global governments, including the United States. And that's why it was so crucial that they win the Senate, that they hold the governorships in order to keep the agenda that was put in place at the time Biden became president, to continue that further. Now, if you don't like that, oh, William, you're reaching. I am not reaching. The evidence is overwhelming, and they're not putting it on CNN. They're not putting it on Fox, so they touch on it a little bit. But this is the real thing you need to be concerned about, right? Because the downfall of the FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried illustrates the problem with clarity. This guy, this con artist, basically who espoused the pie in the sky ideals, Jupiter, Neptune, pie in the sky ideals of stakeholder capitalism, engaging in a kind of corporate charity built on socialist guidelines and climate cultism, while at the same time draining client accounts. And guess what? He's getting away with it. No arrest. He said straight out in an interview 4 days ago that he's an untouchable. He will not be arrested. All right. He is not concerned. He's actually Twittering still. He's in the Bahamas, right? There's no arrest. This guy is getting away with murder. That's really what he's doing, right? So he's getting away with massive, gross negligence and financial fraud.
To watch the full presentation and more like this on geopolitics, the economy, and world events from an archetypal and mundane astrological perspective, join the Global Transformation Astrology membership. Go to gta.williamstickevers.com. Become a GTA member today.